Welcome to Sonic Tonic. This is Darren Kramer. This is where we're every Saturday, 5 o'clock. Today, the tonic of the day is gin and tonic. Go grab a beverage and see you back here in 1 minute. You're listening to DKO. All right. Did you get your beverage? We're serious about that here. Doesn't have to be alcoholic, but we compare music with a beverage. I decided to pick a gin and tonic, kind of kick off the summer here. That's usually what the 5 Points Jazz Festival means. So we're going to relive it here from an interview that I did for PBS last year. And hopefully we'll have a lot of fun here for the next half an hour. Please chime in and ask questions, and it's all about the community. So if you're curious about why I call it Sonic Tonic, there's the definition. Go grab a gin and tonic if you have these ingredients. I happen to use this awesome gin I ran across about a year ago. There's Dominic Lawley of Big Gigantic. He played on my fourth CD called DKO Electric Quartet. Yeah, man, kind of a bittersweet day because the weather outside is incredible. So perfect for 5 Points Jazz Festival. And unfortunately, it's got moved to being a virtual event tonight on KUVO. So make sure and tune in for that. It's 6 to 8 or 8 to 10. I'll look that up in a second. But I thought it'd be fun to kind of show this 6-minute interview that I did about my Sonic Tonics from a year ago. I did 3 of them leading up to the festival, and just to kind of help people who maybe aren't as familiar with jazz, how to listen to it, kind of understand a little more what's going on, because us jazz lovers know it's a diverse language, and there's a lot going on, and so it helps if maybe you have a little bit of a guide showing you why we all love jazz. I've been playing jazz since 3rd grade. Started on piano, playing the B-flat blues, and then I started trombone when I was 8, and then I played in big bands and all kinds of groups as a full-time career. So it's been a really fun ride, and it continues. So let me just check in here and make sure you guys are hearing me. Someone write me a comment, because I just want to make sure that everything's happy. Because I've been trying to feed this video into OBS, which is the live stream software. So you can hear all the audio from that while I talk over it, and it looks like we're all good. So let's get started. So I'm going to... All right. Thanks, Julie. I'm going to play this video, and maybe you take a few notes at home about some questions or things you're interested in, and then we can talk about them and answer them in real time. It's funny watching this now because I've been doing some things differently with my Sonic Tonics, and now that we're doing weekly live streams, you learn more about anything when you do it on a regular basis. So here's the video, and let's see how this works.
Welcome back to Arts District from Rocky Mountain PBS.
On this show, a jazz expert talks us through what makes a great
I don't know
song.
if I'm a jazz expert.
Hi, I'm Kate Verdoni.
And I'm Michael Gadlin. Welcome back to Arts District from Rocky Mountain PBS.
Rhythm, melody, harmony, and lyrics, those are the four basic elements of music, right? But it takes an expert to know how they all work together to create a great song.
Well, we happen to know jazz expert Darren Kramer. He teaches workshops on how to appreciate music. Arts District producer Alexis Cocoen got to listen in.
Jazz, I think it starts getting different with harmonic intensity.
That's Darren Kramer.
Not oatmeal, but maybe oatmeal with walnuts and cinnamon and honey and all sorts of crazy things in it.
He's a jazz musician.
Trombone is really an identity for me, I would say.
Turned jazz aficionado.
I just have always been attracted to the way it makes you feel.
Music has been a part of his life forever.
Ba-ba da ba da, ba-ba da ba da, ba-ba da ba ba da, ba-bo doo bee bee doo bee da.
And now, he's getting other people jazzed, traveling around the Denver area, giving workshops he calls Sonic Tonic.
Sonic meaning sound waves, and tonic is traditionally a medicinal substance to make you feel better.
The gist? How to listen to jazz.
Top of the tune. It's moving.
Using the four main elements of music.
Rhythm, melody, harmony, and lyrics.
Something different. Bridge.
To create a better experience for music listeners.
Let me show you how to listen like a jazz musician. Let's go inside the music and realize we're not playing the melody, and it's not just 3 notes, it's more, maybe there's 27 different notes in it. So it's a little more advanced.
Okay, we had to put Darren's knowledge to the ultimate test. Our team collected music samples from Denver's 5 Points Jazz Fest. And
So this is going to be fun. Yeah, so you've brought in some clips from the recent 5 Points Jazz Festival, and we're going to listen to a couple clips and then do a little mini Sonic Tonic on these so that we're saying, what would somebody listen to, or how would I listen to it? So here's our first one.
He's the kind of guy when he gives you everything, your strength, your heart, and share all of your love. Till death do you part.
I like it. It's mellow, serious groove. I'm noticing the cross stick on that drums. Believe it or not, I'm listening right past her. As a musician, not just a singer or a general music listener, I'm kind of going different levels. So I love that little that guitar that's happening. It's happy. We're in a major key. Her voice is great, great nuance, great tone. She has a nice little story she's talking about there. And this particular recording, I'm not hearing enough bass for me. Plus, we're listening on my laptop speakers. But I noticed that my music engineer side comes out and go, I want to feel like I'm laying on this like bass sound, right? All right, here's a new one. Dig it. That's kind of old school, like a folk jazz, right? And some of this stuff, gypsy jazz, when they have a lot of different instruments like a violin. This had a clarinet in it, and it's so fun. It's got its own sound. So maybe you don't even know what a clarinet is. You haven't noticed that. Woodwind instrument has a reed, way different than trombone, but that gives this its own vibe. And there's a sax, tenor sax. There, that's the clarinet. And it's fun, it's happy, right? And here's the last one.
I've got to know why you've been stalling all the time. It's you, oh, do you lie? I don't know who you're seeing on the side. Today I got to know who you've been calling, did you die?
That's my kind of thing. Funky jazz, right? Vocalist sounds very good. What do I notice right behind that is some of those hits in the drums. He's not just like phoning it in, hey man, we're kind of playing. No, man, he's like, check out these hits. That snare and those on the hi-hat, they're gonna do it again probably. Horns are hitting on those downbeats, right? So this, to me, is way more interesting than, just boo boo dip be da. Great sounding bands, and they're all quite different as we're hearing, right? So jazz doesn't just mean one thing. So if maybe you have an idea that you don't like jazz, maybe give it another try. There's lots of jazz going on a weekly basis in downtown Denver and in Boulder.
It's so cool that Darren can listen to music he's never even really heard before and analyze it kind of spontaneously.
His band, the Darren Kramer Organization, has performed at the Jazz Fest, so we'll get a chance to hear him and others later in the show.
You can also learn all about Darren's musical journey by visiting the website on your screen.
All right. Interesting stuff. I never did an interview like that. They came to my studio. You might have recognized my lava lamp. So interesting where, first of all, I don't know if there is any jazz experts. I've been playing jazz for most of my life. I love it. I've studied it. I know some things, but there's a lot of people that know a lot about jazz. So take that with a grain of salt. And the other thing that I found interesting was, besides my hair, look at, you could tell, yeah, it was like a couple of weeks later that they interviewed, because I look okay there, and then I'm disheveled. So, check this out. This is interesting. When I watched this and I was putting together all these things for this Sonic Tonic, this happens a lot with music interviews. I think it was well done, and it's great to get info out there. But I'm going to do a Sonic Tonic on this actual interview. So
they all work together to create a great song.
Well, we happen to know jazz expert Darren Kramer. He teaches workshops on how to appreciate music. Arts District producer Alexis Cocoen got to listen in.
Okay, did anyone notice that? Talk about details. I've done a lot of video editing, and sometimes you don't have the shot, or this shot looks better, but it doesn't go with the audio. Check it out. You hear me playing a low trombone note, pedal B flat, and I don't even have the horn up to my mouth.
Music. Arts District producer Alexis Cocoen got to listen in.
In fact, I'm taking the horn away. So, that's interesting to me.
Jazz, I think it starts getting different with harmonic intensity.
That's Darren Kramer.
Not oatmeal, but maybe oatmeal with walnuts and cinnamon.
And so that's a
honey
different
and all sorts of crazy things in
video
He's a
compared to
jazz
the
musician.
audio, right?
it. Trombone is really an identity for me, I would say.
Turned jazz.
Now, do you hear the trombone distortion there? It's because whatever video and audio they recorded on their cameras at PBS, I was distorting it.
For me, I would say.
Turned jazz.
You hear that? You not even know that? That's not how a trombone sounds. Listen to it, how it's overdriving the mic.
Trombone is really an identity for me, I would say.
Turned jazz aficionado.
I just have always been attracted to the way it makes you feel.
So that's distorted
Music has been
audio.
a part of his life forever.
Baba da ba da, baba da ba da, baba da baba da baba do be be do be da.
So what I was explaining, that was the actual morning of the festival, and nice turnout of people wanting to learn like what they should listen to as they leave the library and then walk down this street where there's like 12 stages of jazz happening. Super cool. And I got to give a shout out to Arturo Gomez at Cuvo Radio 89.3 and Brooke Dilling, who's part of Denver Arts, where they worked so hard putting this thing together. And they had the idea of like, yeah, let's promote this thing where we can kind of have a little bit of jazz education leading up. So I had two sonic tonics, one on big band, one on really kind of going deep and listening to jazz, and then this was a little quick half-hour intro to jazz talk right before the festival started. So as I'm doing it, I was like, this is fun. Like, I feel the responsibility that I'm going to share this information and try to hit people to this genre of music that I've basically dedicated my life to. And right there, why am I acting like I'm a singer and singing to this group of people? I was actually explaining the swing beat. What is jazz? I think it's improvisation, advanced harmony, not just triads, but actual, extended harmony. So not the 1-3-5, but you have the major 7 in there. You might have the 9. You have the sharp 11. You might have the 13. And that sounds different than there's C triad and here's C major sharp 11. That's pretty stark. And then this is dense, which is like if you're drinking water, that's a C major triad. The botanist with tonic water, that's getting into this sharp 11 kind of thing. Let's taste it. Dig it. Tastes so fresh and piney. Denver weather today is stellar. It's so good. But back to this video, the other thing I'm talking about is for jazz, improvisation. You're making up stuff on the fly. Advanced harmony and swing. Swing is a lot of times associated with jazz, but that's not all jazz is. But that's why I'm singing this rhythm right here.
Ba ba da ba da, ba ba da ba da.
Ba ba da ba da. The reason I'm doing that is I'm talking about triplets, which is 3 in one beat. 1, 2, ready, and da-ba da da-ba da. And I'm hearing a delay in my headphones, so it's messed me up. Da-ba da da-ba da da-ba da da-ba da. And so the swing beat is the first and the third triplet. Ba-ba-doom boo-be-dim be-da.
Baba da baba da baba doom bee bee doom bee da.
That's why I was doing that.
And now,
But that being said, check this out. Where is it? I thought there was an intro on this.
Welcome back to Arts District from Rocky Mountain PBS.
On this show, a jazz expert talks us through what makes a great song.
Baba da baba doom bee bee doom bee da.
I think that is hilarious. Saying, what is a jazz song? And then they cut, out of all the stuff on the interview, they cut to me going, ba ba doo. That's an interesting choice. I wouldn't have made that choice. I would have played some segment of a band playing, not me going doobie doobie doo.
Before an animal.
So let's check this out.
One thing. So if maybe you have an idea, the basis in downtown Denver and in Boulder.
So I
It's
think
so cool that Darren can listen to music he's never.
this was thanks to Alexis. She's the one that filmed
Okay,
this
guess
and
where we're going?
Where
made
we're
this
going,
We're
happen.
going to the streets of Denver.
Awesome. We get to hear the Darren Kramer organization and feel the vibe from the recent 5 Points Jazz Fest.
Woo! Take it away.
Right there. I mean, you improvise every day, so it's super interesting that people kind of think jazz is unique because it's not. The improv element is, wait, I'm going to come meet you at your house, but oh, sorry, I'm 10 minutes late because I had to stop off and get gas. That's improv. You weren't planning on it, and then you changed your mind last minute. With jazz, there's like a sort of a guideline, but then at any moment, if you feel like freaking out and going, whoa, then you do it. That's what I love about it. It's part of my nature, and I think it's part of a lot of my friends who are musicians as well. But you do that with movies, you can, and then you do that with video. So out of all the video content, I wouldn't have picked this moment because what does this look like to you when we cut to that? I see this guy uncross his legs and then cross his legs like he's kind of bored. So maybe that's me reading into it, but that's what I think a lot of people think jazz is. Oh boy, now we're going to listen to another person's solo. That video clip kind of, to me, makes it seem like it's not exciting, which it is. It's my good friend Chris Malley. This is DKO we're watching. The song is Critical Density, original of mine from my first CD. Kind of a jazz funk. There's Bijou Barbosa, Jake Boldman, Don Kramer, and Bob Relholtz. This was our set last year, 2019, 5 Points Jazz Festival. And we're watching the PBS interview special that they did on the festival and my Sonic Tonic workshops. Here's Bob Rebholz on alto sax. Hey, Krista. That's a good point. Krista in Kansas has been tuning in on all these Sonic Tonics, and she's been in TV news, and that's the thing. You only have so much time to put a piece together. So, I only have this video, I'll throw it in there. You got to get it done, get it out there. I agree. That being said, a lot of music movies where they have the time and some sort of a budget, they end up mixing and matching bad cuts with actual performance of the music, so it's a tough thing. I know the scene.
Until next time,
Make it easy.
but make it.
Sorry, Bob, I talked over your solo. Let's see. Catherine saying, are some improvisations planned? Totally. And even, it's like a speech. You have phrases that you use in English, right? Like right then. Me saying, hey, how are you doing? Am I making that up? No. But it's a greeting, and when I see you, it's like, hey, how's it going? So that might be like, ba-ba-da-ba-da, or, So some of it's planned. You can throw these phrases in, but then all of a sudden you might go, ah, and that wasn't planned. So improvisation is totally cool. Krista's going nuts here. Let's see. Yeah. That's a good point. So if the next time you watch like a video or a movie or a piece on music, about music, it really helps if the cinematographer and the editor, most importantly the editor, has a musical background. Because then you go, oh, the sax solo is starting, but then clearly there's a trumpet player that's visually playing on the screen. That's a really interesting scenario, right? So that's where jazz education comes in. You have to, we got to spread the gospel. And that's what's cool about the 5 Points Jazz Festival, is it's saying, hey, everyone come on down. It's free. And hear all this great world-class music, and it'll change your life. Anybody else? Joe Hall, awesome to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Trombone player, used to live here. Barrett Hawking, we met in New Zealand. Great to see you, man. That was 2002 we hung out. So we're coming up on 20 years. Brandon Marquardt, thanks so much for the tip yesterday too. We went to school together. My sister and I, Dawn, and Brandon, Skyline High School, Erie High School. It's fun times. So let me remind everyone. So here we are at Sonic Tonic. That's what we're all about on Saturdays at 5 o'clock. And this was a rebroadcast of a PBS special that they did last year. Don't forget, tonight they're doing a virtual 5 Points Jazz Festival. It didn't happen today in real life, as you know, but they're doing a special thing on KUVO, 89.3 FM in Denver, or you can find it on the interwebs, kuvo.org. kuvo.org. I believe, actually, I don't know. Go on Facebook, go on the Denver Jazz Scene, or go to kuvo.org and check the time. They're doing a special thing. And Diane Reeves, I don't know if you know, Diane Reeves used to live in Denver. She's from Denver, and she's been an international star for some time now. So that's worth it alone. But a lot of greats, Hazel Miller, all kinds of people are going to be on the show tonight. So check it out. And know that I'm doing a live stream playing with my electric trombone rig every Friday, 5 o'clock Mountain Time here in Denver. And then sometimes I have special guests. I just featured my sister last week, Dawn Kramer, on trumpet. I have some really cool things coming up here, so stay tuned for that. And just always check my Facebook page, Electric Trombone DJ. And you can find me, electrictrombonedj.com. And hopefully we can, make the world a better place through music. So again, thanks for being here. Thanks for your questions. Krista, thanks so much for showing up and asking questions. And we'll see you guys all next week. And please support live music, or as live as it can get these days, of it being these live streams, and just help out fellow musicians, because all the gigs have quickly gone away and we got to find a new way to do it. So thank you. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Thanks.